Hi everybody, welcome to your weekly tips and tricks video. I just wanted to show you these because these are our little cherry chilies that we've got, and yours may still be green, but there may be red ones coming out, but this one came out as a whole bunch. I've never even seen these before. This was in our, I think these might have come in our November box, but there's loads on there and they are delicious. You can just eat them. They're not super hot, but they have that lovely chili flavor, so they're really great with salsas and things like that, so make sure you use them. They've got a little bit of heat in them, I have to say. It's not pulling my face up. So last week we got our plants, and I have noticed that mine, my little kale, which are usually quite susceptible these to slugs and things, have definitely got slugs. In fact, I saw one just earlier. So what I'm going to try this week is I'm going to do a beer trap. So what we do with a beer trap is that you set it down amongst your plants, just use a little saucer, and you put it down at the kind of level that they can just walk across. These are the slugs, they're going to walk across here. And I'm not going to open a can of beer now because I won't want to drink one at midday, but I'm going to open one before dinner because these things come out at night. So, and the beer needs to be quite fresh. I've noticed that if you just keep it in the trap, it only really works for the first night, so you need to replace them if you want to get them to work. Often your best the best results are from the first one that you set down. So what they do basically is they walk in there and they drown, so in beer, which isn't a bad way to go either. So I'm just going to fill that up with beer this evening when I crack one open for myself, and hopefully that'll stop these ones here, because that one's been like completely eaten by, and I did find a little slug, so it's definitely slugs that I know that I've got there. So we'll try that. You might notice I've got a great big gap. I took out my courgette last week. Your one is maybe ready to go. Go out, and if it is, then take it out and get your soil ready for next month's plants. But it'll be great to give that soil a little bit of a rest and a little bit of a boost as well. So we had a bit of a storm last week, and I got some seaweed, and I've just been soaking it in here a bit. And I'm just going to use it as a mulch in that area that I don't have my plants on yet, because it's got a few weeks just to sink in, and so I'm just going to take all of that seaweed here and I'm just going to put it on that space that we've got in the middle there and use it as a so I'm just going to spread that across in that area, and I'm going to actually cover that with a little bit of soil as well, because it has compacted a little bit, so I'll cover it with a little bit of soil just so that it remains damp in there, and then I'm just going to leave that, and then I've now got about 3 weeks until I put some new plants in there, so I'll be able to just plant in amongst it, and that's just going to release a lot of nutrients. Now the other thing that you can use to do these kind of mulches with is weeds. You can actually put a whole combination of weeds into water and just soak them for a couple of weeks, and then you can just put them on the area of your garden that you're going to let lie fallow for a few weeks. Because if I put this on, well, seaweed's not so bad, but with your green matter, you do want to just give it some time because it's a little bit strong on your existing plants. I've got another little mixture of milk and water in here, and I'm just going to give my silver beet and some of my cucumber another little spray around, and also the base of my tomatoes. I'll show you over here the tomatoes and show you what's happening with them. See how I've got here some white mildew on my tomatoes. One I'm going to chop the worst of them out, so but I'm also going to use some of this spray for the ones that I have that I want to keep in there, just to keep them from getting more mildew, and just keep on thinning out these laterals. We've got amazing little cherry tomatoes coming all over the place here. It's going to be a great crop. A great late crop, which is always nice when you think you're coming to the end of tomato season. And I hope your cucumbers are going really well, but this is still, they're all turning into, you can see they're all turning into little cucumbers here, and they're going to be flourishing. So just keep an eye on that one to make sure that you are ensuring that it doesn't have any leaf mold or anything on it, and take out any of the leaves that are not doing so well, so that it gets the airflow through the rest of the plant. So I've really noticed on this tomato that we've got a few leaves that could be gone because they've got some leaf mold on them, and that means we probably want to get more airflow through the plant. So I'm just going to take a lot of those off and tidy it all up. Any damaged and diseased looking leaves, you want to try and get them out of there so that they don't affect the rest of your plant, and so that you can put all that effort into your tomatoes. And it just looks a lot healthier once we have those off. So just keep on going around, make sure you're getting some airflow. What that'll also do is it'll create more sunlight to get through to the rest of the plants in your garden as well, if you get rid of anything you don't need off this one. And hopefully we'll have a whole lot of cherry tomatoes coming really soon. Okay. This is the early cucumber that I had. I've had lots of little ones off it, but it's got a few going on there, but I'm actually, it's looking like it's pretty much on its last leg, so I'm actually going to just take it out, and that'll be the end of that one. It'll just give a lot more room for my other plant, which is now, if you can see, it's starting to take over across into the space that this early cucumber was in, and I'm just going to let it go ahead and do that, so that we can just have plants that are really cranking in our garden. And that's the key to a small space garden, is to make sure that you're a little bit ruthless with plants that are probably going to be having less productivity than your ones that are cranking along. Okay, just wanted to show you also our basil. I'm just getting so much good basil off this one. I hope you are as well. We got this one ages ago and I'm still making pesto. Little trick to making pesto is that if you blanch the leaves in very, very hot water, just put them in and blanch them for like under a minute, and move them around, and then put them very quickly into freezing cold water with a bit of ice into it. That'll keep that beautiful colour in your leaves, so you get bright green pesto. Often you'll find with homemade pesto, if you don't do that, it kind of goes a bit brown around the top. But that's the secret to making really good bright green pesto. Lastly, these lettuces have doubled in size since I put them in last week, which is great. They're doing really well. These ones, my spinach isn't doing quite so well, so I'm pretty sure it's going to just take off. I might just give them a bit of a boost with a bit more soil around them and a bit of water, and see if we can get them to take off as well. And you can see that the leeks that we put in have now filled out around the bottom with soil, and they're just starting to thicken up, and they'll be just fine too. So that's it, everyone. Happy gardening. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.